I guess to me, mental skills is all about being able to extend your comfort zone. When you start out at, for instance, take a professional rugby player, they start at club level and it's comfortable for them. The intensity is not that high. They're probably one of the better players in the competition, and so they're not really stressed. But then they go to the next level. Sort of the same thing when you leave school and then you go to high school and then you go to university or whatever. It sort of compounds as you go along, and so to be able to overcome your nerves, overcome the performance anxiety sort of thing to get to the next level and extend it. And then once you get there, so you're not just there you're there competing, you're making a difference, you're not just there making up the numbers, I guess. Around the country, all the rugby academies and stuff that exist, everyone does sort of the same sort of training. Everyone has the nutrition, everyone has the strength and conditioning. Roughly the coaching is all pretty similar. It's all done through the NZAU, so the same sort of coaching is coming out. The guy that you're playing against is probably as strong, as fit, as fast and as skilled as you are. When you go to that level and you play against them, if you've got the mental skills to be comfortable at that level, to then go and perform as you would if you were playing club rugby down here, then you're going to overcome somebody who's just as strong, just as fast, just as fit. When you're a young, impressionable 16, 17-year-old and you sort of hear about mental skills, mental toughness, and you don't really have an understanding of what it is, but I guess easy skills to use are things like visualization, relaxation. You set aside during the week like a 10-minute window where you just train mentally what you're going to do on the game on the weekend. There was a study done once in American NBA where they had it was a free throw shoot, and so they had three groups. One group of guys just trained by shooting goals, one group trained by not doing anything and just visualizing for a 10-minute period, maybe 3 times a week, and the other group trained by doing nothing at all. And what they found is that the ones who had just doing the visualization of the technique and shooting the goals were as good as, if not better than, the ones who had been just doing the physical training. A 10-minute window just to visualize what you're going to take into the game, what your role is, if you're a prop, like your setup, how it's going to look against the opposition. Visualize yourself playing the game. For instance, if you're playing Westlake at Rosmini, like you've played there before against Westlake, you can visualize the crowd, visualize the game, the jerseys, visualize the first scrum or the first kick at goal or whatever, and visualize you doing it well and doing it to your ability. Away from that is probably relaxation, so taking it the other way and clearing your head of all of that, and maybe it's going on the beach and just lying down and clearing your thoughts, or doing something that just completely gets you away from it and clears your mind and relaxes you. You don't want to overdo it in your head so much that in the time you come to play the game, you've already played it and you're mentally exhausted. So it's just a bit of a balancing act, really. It's hugely important, I think. I know at the professional level, all players will have sort of a routine of what they want to tick off so that they know come game time that they're sort of in the right state to play. So you don't want to be too, I guess, hyped up and sort of, say you're playing at your school game at 12 o'clock in the afternoon or something, you don't want to sort of be too hyped up from sort of 8, 9 o'clock when you wake up in the morning. You just want to build it through the day. So I guess in terms of routine, it's a lot about your nutrition and what you're going to eat, so having a good breakfast, and then just maybe having a window again in there, maybe an hour or two before the game or before you get to the game, where you just have a window again just to visualise what you're going to go over. And I used to always do like a, when I was playing, like a relaxation sort of phase where I just sort of just chill out, lie down and just let myself relax, and then just go over things in the game that were gonna happen in my sort of role with scrum, what I was gonna, like I said before with the visualization, just go through that in your head and just until you get that what feels right for you. And when you know it feels right for you, just try and keeping it the same, so that you know come the game time that you're giving yourself the best chance of performing to your ability. It gets bandied around quite a bit, mental toughness. I think what we're discussing here is more around mental skills and sort of the preparation and getting yourself in the right sort of mindset to play and to perform at your ability. Mental toughness, I think, is sort of you develop in your work ethic and sort of your training ethic, the ability to push through when you're tired, the ability to to train yourself harder than you know your opposition's training. You know, if you've got, I used to run the rule, I guess, that if I was out doing a run on a Sunday, chances are the guy who was going for the same position wasn't probably doing a run on a Sunday morning. I heard a good quote from somebody, I can't remember who it was, to train. I think it was Lance Armstrong actually. I train when others aren't training, because I know that's another way to sort of get yourself ahead, another point of difference for you. So mental toughness to me, yeah, it's not being the toughest guy that takes the big knocks necessarily. That's part of it, being able to get up, you get a knock, being able to play through it, get up, keep going. But it's not necessarily the guy who, especially at young grades, you see that, oh, he's real tough because he throws the punches, he's in the niggle and stuff like that. That's not, to me, that's not toughness. Guys who cheap shot guys on the ground, that's soft. That's not toughness. Toughness is the guys who persevere and continue to, they get set back and they keep coming back, and they work hard off the field, away from the game, and they're not guys who are looking to be acknowledged for the work they're doing. So they're doing, it's work that's unseen in their own time, away from the team, away from the training. I always tried to avoid superstitions because I used to think about it logically. So say, yeah, superstitions, oh, he's got a lucky pair of undies, so what happens if you wear those undies and then you have a shit game? They can't be that lucky. Superstitions to me are just an excuse kind of for probably a lack of mental skill. So if you knock off your mental skills and your preparation, then the superstitions shouldn't count. They shouldn't be necessary, because there's no crossover there. Whereas the mental skills, you're preparing yourself. People certainly have them, and you see them a lot in tennis and that. And hey, if you think it works for you and it throws you, if you don't do it, then so be it. But personally, I think they're a bit of a waste of time. Ticker, meaning heart, and having the ticker or desire to overcome a setback, overcome a coach not selecting you, overcome an injury, overcome any sort of obstacle, because you've got that ticker to keep going along, and keep you've got a clear dream and goal that you want to get to, and nothing's going to stand in your way.